Are we really the only advanced civilization in the 4.5 billion years of world history? This doesn't make any sense. It's as if someone put humanity inside the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs, and suddenly human civilization was established on Earth. This is the question Gavin Schmidt, climate modeler and director of the NASA Goddard Institute for Space Studies, asked himself in 2017. How do we know that we are the only advanced civilization existing on Earth? This was on his mind when astrophysicist Adam Frank of the University of Rochester visited him, and he asked this question to Frank. Curious about the subject, these two wrote a provocative article about the possibility that the Earth may have created more than one technological society throughout its 4.5 billion year history. The most interesting question about this article was, if an industrial civilization existed on Earth millions of years ago, what kind of traces would they leave? And could we detect these traces today? In an interview, Schmidt says, "I looked back through science fiction literature to try to find the earliest example of a story involving a non-human industrial civilization on Earth. It was in the earliest Doctor Who episode I could find. This classic TV series features the present-day discovery of the Silurians, an ancient race of technologically advanced reptilian humanoids that predate the arrival of humans by hundreds of millions of years. According to the scenario, these highly civilized saurians flourished for centuries until Earth's atmosphere entered a period of catastrophic turmoil that forced Homo reptilia to hibernate underground to await danger." Referring to this movie, Frank and Schmidt named the pre-human civilization hypothesis the Silurian hypothesis. To tell the truth, Frank and Schmidt did not believe their hypothesis. The reason is that we cannot find it even if an advanced civilization existed before the dinosaurs. Because as we move forward in time, civilizations collapse into the depths of the Earth and turn to dust. The hypothesis also suggests that artifacts from past civilizations may be found on the Moon and Mars, where erosion and tectonic activity are less likely to erase evidence. Compared to our current modern cities, less than 3% of the Earth's surface is urbanized today, and the chances of any of our major cities surviving for tens of millions of years are vanishingly small. An abandoned metropolis is either buried under sand or eroded by rain and natural disasters, just like you see in science fiction movies. So they ask the question, can we find fossils of these civilizations? They are researching and can only go back 350 million years, and what they can find are dinosaurs and reptiles. Frank and Schmidt consider possible common points between modern human society and pre-human civilization. If they were developed like us, they would need energy. This means more carbon released into the atmosphere, and more carbon release means increased temperatures. That is climate change. They will also process elements in nature, which means there will be radioactive evidence. Carbon released into the atmosphere eventually forms a layer on the ocean floor, just like dust accumulates on the ground after an asteroid falls. Frank and Schmidt begin investigating seemingly misleading things like sedimentary anomalies or isotope ratios. In principle, shadows of many pre-human civilizations could be hidden within such subtleties. We saw this logic really work in the mysterious Indus Valley civilization. During excavations in the state, archaeologists discovered a layer of radioactive ash. This remained a mystery for a while. Later, archaeologists discovered a pit in the nearby city of Mohenjo-Daro. Molten stones and glass were found in this pit. Probably local people or the owner of this place was using it as a business. However, at this point, an opposing theory claims that this may also be wrong and that it will vary depending on civilization. For example, an advanced civilization will try to reduce climate change and environmental pollution just like we do. In this case, they become virtually invisible, and we cannot find any evidence. Another interesting issue is the difference in the rate of technological development and time. Consider our own industrial age, which has only existed for 300 years in millions of years of human history. Now compare this tiny span of time with the nearly 500 million years that creatures have lived on land. Frank says humanity's current phase of rapacious fossil fuel use and environmental degradation is unsustainable for long. It will diminish over time, either due to human choice or the force of nature, making the Anthropocene less of a permanent period and more of a blip in the geological record. Perhaps civilizations like ours occurred more than once, but if each lasted only 300 years, no one would have seen them. When all this is taken into account, we are left with a menu of scattered, long-lived traces, including fossil fuel combustion residues, primarily carbon, evidence of mass extinctions, plastic pollutants, synthetic chemical compounds not found in nature, and even nuclear-derived transuranium isotopes. In other words, what we should be looking for in the geological record are the same distinctive signals that humans present now. Carbon is the greatest evidence that a civilization has industrialized. Apart from this, the use of nitrogen fertilizer in the sediments, and probably in advanced agriculture, and the sudden increase in metal levels is evidence of a civilization engaged in manufacturing. More unique specific traces would be unnatural stable synthetic molecules such as steroids and many plastics, as well as well-known pollutants including polychlorinated biphenyls, toxic chemical compounds from electrical devices, and chlorofluorocarbons, ozone-eating molecules from refrigerators and aerosol sprays. Another article published the same year adds, could they have fled the world due to an epidemic, disaster, or nuclear explosion? If so, there should be evidence on the Moon, Mars, and other planets in the solar system. Evidence. There are strange layers in the geological record that represent environmental changes. For example, the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. About 66 million years ago, the dinosaur-hating asteroid hit Earth and caused an incredible mass extinction. 3/4 of the world's plant and animal species have disappeared. The impacting asteroid kicked up an incredible cloud of dust from the ground and blocked out the sun for the next century. The dust cloud that collapsed to the ground is the biggest evidence of this asteroid, but some sedimentary layers and sudden temperature changes have no explanation. Any of these as yet unexplained sudden shifts in the geological record between 55 and 60 million years ago could be the work of industrial civilization. However, these changes may also be due to carbon released as a result of volcano activity. Another explanation could simply be classical climate change. Milankovitch cycle is the change of the Earth's distance from the Sun or the Earth's axis. In this case, the world enters an ice age, and this is the cause of climate change. So at this point, nature and civilization coincide. In summary, heavy elements can be produced in an advanced civilization, and a volcanic eruption can also produce them. Radioactive isotopes may occur in nuclear power plants or in a supernova explosion. The layers in the sediment may be the work of pre-human civilization or a meteor impact. As a result, is there a pre-human civilization? We don't know the answer to the question. There is no evidence, but just because there's no evidence doesn't mean there isn't any. For example, the Longyu cave discovered in China was found by chance, even though it was right in front of our eyes. In June 1992, 4 farmers in Longyu found the caves while draining 5 small ponds in their village. The ponds turned out to be 5 large man-made caves. Later, research revealed that there were 19 more caves nearby. Xianbian village in Jiang Prefecture was known for its lush landscapes and traditional agriculture until this archaeological discovery was made. This cave is unique in terms of design. It's literally an architectural masterpiece, exquisite hand-sculpted carvings, staircases, and artistic columns. We still do not know what these caves were built for, but they may have been built for storing food, royal tombs, or astronomical observations. Its history dates back 2,000 years. We have come to the end of another science video. What are you thinking? Were we not first? Hasn't there been another advanced civilization in the 4.5 billion years of world history? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel and not miss the science videos. Thanks for watching.